Hi, welcome. Kaleidoscope. This is the square what we're gonna do today. We started from here. I have colors, or color schemes are all in the book. So this is a color scheme 1 or Colourway 1. That's the one what is a pattern in the book, and we are going to do the knitwise there. Now, as I'm doing it, I have a little bit figured out how I am going to do it a little bit, how to put it, that it doesn't get knotted that much, mainly because I don't want to, my balls are already small, the 50-gram balls are very small. Now you can divide them up into, I don't know, 10-gram balls or whatever, because it is roughly 5, it really depends. And anyways, this is the one. So I don't want to shorten them or making them smaller, because there's different weight of wool which you need from each ball, and I hate a wastage. I'm so sorry, but I hate a wastage, especially in any type of wool and clothing, because it's not very environmentally friendly to I would rather have them in a garment and holding it for just making something very solid out of it than those bits of wool afterwards. They're not healthy for animals, they're not healthy for anyone, even the natural fibers. Okay, so, and this blanket could be easily made out of cotton, but also out of acrylic. I'm using merino wool mix, this mixed with acrylic too, just to give a bit of a more kind of texture. I'll tag the wool underneath. It's ice yarn wool, and I also used ice yarn, these same ones, in my crochet kits, which you can get from my Etsy shop. The link also will be in the description box. There's currently only one, working on others slowly but surely. So let's hop into it. This is Colourway 1 in knitwise, and I'm gonna get at it. I am apologizing again if you see me a little bit kind of yanking the wool or stuff like that, because I'm trying to kind of get the knots out. I've learned a little trick, so I hope to show it to you as well. Let's hop into it. Now, before I start, I'm going to explain something. I'm using 2 colors as the main colors. In one way, because I'm doing the tutorials, so you can kind of make a difference, but also because I don't have a whole lot of that. This is lovely kind of bright purple, and I have had sold so many of it, and I also have, it's one of those colors that my daughter loves as well, so I have used a lot of it, and I do, again, this is a great fiber of wool to use. Now, so I'm going to use this one, and then I'm going to for edging, and I can't show it in a square, but you see when I'm going to go ahead what I'm doing. And I'm also going to use this as the main color stripe in Kaleidoscope. Okay. Take your main color and cast on 28 stitches. I like to cut off the main color and do a little knot at the bottom of it. Now take your color E and knit 7 stitches. Then pick up your color F and knit 8 stitches. Now join color D and knit another 8 stitches. Lastly, pick up your main color again and knit another 5 stitches, the last 5 stitches, and that's your 28 stitches in a place. Now turn the work around and purl back with each color exact amount of stitches what you made. That's our first 2 rows complete. Try to pay attention to twisting the yarns around each other. So let's say the main color, when you move into a color D, the color D goes across the long thread, so it loops around it. It helps to kind of keep the colors together so they won't fall apart and have big holes in it. Pull down all the threads so you can close the caps in between the color changes. Now turn the work around. We're going to only now knit 6 out of those 7 stitches in color E, okay? Because we're going to move by stitch the work towards right, so the stripe would be running towards right. Change the wool around to the next color F, but make sure you twist the wool at the back. That's the main reason why this work ends up very knotty, or the ends will be getting very, very messy. So you keep going by twisting and moving 1 stitch of each time towards the right, the color towards the right. Turn your work around and work as before the purl row. Just all the stitches and twist the yarn between each color change. Keep going with your work now as following the pattern until your main color stripe has 8 stitches wide. So you have to, as you move each stitch towards right, the last stripe right now, if I started with a 5 stitch, ends up having 8 stitch. So you keep working on the pattern until you have 8 stitches on the very last color.
You'll come to watch me dancing just for you. 깊은 바다 속에서 널 데리러 왔어. 어째 나는 이제 바라 우린 함께야.
So now we have 8 stitches at the very end. The main color is white for 8 stitch wide. So what we're going to do now is we're starting from the beginning. Yeah, look at the back of it. Look at how it is all kind of bonded together. So as we move across for our normal row, we kind of move the line towards right. We are going to be prepared to add our 4th color, what is color A, at the very end.
Swimming like a bird, dreaming, I can fly to anywhere. You are, that's right.
So as you knit across of the 8, just 8 stitches, not 9 stitches of the main color, you're going to add your color A to it on the last stitch. Now this is a very fiddly part because the one stitch is going to be a bit of loose, so it will take a little bit to kind of get it knitted. It might slip off your needle. Like you see, it's just that wants to kind of get very, very loose. But nevertheless, it's just keep at it, and the next row would be so much easier. Just again, remember to even now just kind of wrap the wool around so the stitch would be much more closer to the knit. The first stitch is always a little bit more fiddly. Work rest of the back to the beginning of end of the burl row, just like that, as you done any other row.
And I'm getting mighty tired of your trifling ways and of listening to that jackass bray.
For all time's sake. As time goes by. It's been a long time.
So now I'm going to actually cut off our color E, just because it's easier and it's less knotty at the back. We are going to knit only 2 of this. We are going to end off this row or this color stripe. So we are going to knit 2. We work the row as it was. We keep moving the stripes over, gaining the color A at the back, another 1 stitch. But with cutting off the wool at the very beginning, it just kind of helps us to a little bit easier to move it. It just helps with the work as well, that, like I'm saying, it knots a lot at the back.
Some of the old songs. For all time's sake.
So now row 13 on the chart, we're only going to knit one stitch and move everything across, and we're going to keep going. That's very close now to finish off that stripe with the color E. So now keep pulling, yeah, that's the last stitch on with color E on that row. Now you start with color F instead of E, and you knit that one as well, as you would because of that. That's our row 15. And now we are finished with that color E. It's a kind of nice purple corner there. And we keep going. I'm going to show it to you again when I'm at the end of this row. Now here you go. That's it. That's my first stripe done. Now I'm going to keep going on a pattern, following the pattern for another 9 rows until my color A row has 8 stitches, and we're going to then add our next color. So as we have done the 8 stitches, look at the back. No knots, it's all no holes, all knots. So we are doing the same thing. We are going to knit at the end, and the last stitch we're going to add the color B. I'm not going to talk about it as I've showed you before. I've talked it through before, so you can watch how I'm doing it, and then it's the same thing again. Our color F is going to end, and I'm going to show you that as well as I knit along. And so enjoy it. as you can see how I'm really struggling with all the knotting at the bottom. I do have to now end, when I'm finishing this row, I do have to stop the video and actually kind of unravel it. But it seems to be, there seems to be a bit of issue, and that really slows down the whole work.
When you speak, angel, sing from above. Everyday word seems I'm feeling high. 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 I'm feeling high.
So now the new color has been added and the color F has been finished. Let's look at the back. Now you keep going for another 7 rows and then we are on a point of casting off in the end of our 38th row, and then we're ready to cast off the whole work. So we made a little mistake there, but nevertheless this is how the work goes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all the ends off so there is no wool dangling. I'm going to go back in my main color and I'm going to cast off with the main color on knitwise. It's kind of said it in a book, and I actually like it because it won't leave like the gaps. You can close the gaps when you're threading in the ends in the end. So I actually do like it, and that's why I like to start with the main color as well. It's an extra row with the main color to add the cast on and then the cast off. Also, I do think that when we ended up stitching it all together, it will end up looking a little better. So this is done. Yeah, I use the main color to cast on and off. I made a little mistake here as well. I'm sorry, because I'm on and off with it as my kids were going, and as a home life it is. Didn't got a full hour to kind of join in with you, but regardless, nevertheless. So this is the right way, and that's the one in from the Colourway 1. So tomorrow I'll show you the Colourway 1 in Pearl, and I will not add any comments or kind of instructions. I'm just going to show you in 1.5 fast, in speed, and 1.5 how I'm making it. A little bit probably twinkling, and maybe I just give a little bit kind of ideas. You've seen how I struggled with the wool. Still haven't figured fully out. It seems like that when I'm doing it in Pearl, starting with the Pearl, it's a little bit easier. I don't really know why, but it could be to do that because I don't know. We'll see it. Anyways, we'll figure it out tomorrow. I'm getting faster in them. I'm very happy with them. As I'm getting faster, I'm not struggling as much, but still. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye.